Hey YouTube, how's it going? I'm good. I'm unemployed. It's Monday morning. I should be at work. I quit my job. It's really stressful and horrible. So I'm probably going travelling sooner rather than later. Check it out. Rabies, typhoid, Hep Japanese encephalitis. I'm so hardcore right now. Jesus, like that woman, this fucking travel vaccination woman is just an evil, evil woman. Yeah, I've got to go back like for another 3 appointments so she can stick me full of more evil disease. She kept saying, so when you come next week, I'm going to give you cholera. It's like, please don't give me cholera. I'm nice, really. How are you doing? I'm really well. Look at me. It's Monday morning. It's sunny outside. I don't have to go to work. This is pretty fucking fantastic. Travelling's the best idea I've ever come up with. No, I couldn't hack the job, so I quit, and now I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe like look for a little bit of temp work in London before I go. Although it does occur to me I could just go to Australia and work for 6 months. So it's all up in the air. The problem is that I just can't seem to make a plan. I've got so many options. When you've got a bit of money saved and then people keep going, well, why don't you just go and work in Australia for a year? Oh, well, you know, you can like get work doing this and that. You just end up with so many options that you can't actually choose one of them. But either way, I'm about to go travelling and it's going to be incredible. I've brought my rucksack. I should have brought it down so I could show it off. I'm so trekkie about that rucksack. I love it. Yeah, I'm really excited. I have had some like crisis of confidences, definitely, where it's been really useful to have a couple of friends that have done stuff like this before and be like, trust me, yeah. Because when you're looking at a situation and you've never done it before, it is like just staring into the void because you can't possibly picture what something's going to be like. The main fear for me is not the travelling, because I get around okay. I've been looking after myself for years. You know, I don't lack the confidence to think I can show up in a random city and work out how to get to a bus station or how to find dinner, find a hostel. It's not so much that stuff which makes me nervous, because that stuff you can find out easily looking up blogs online and that sort of thing and using a guidebook. It's more being on my own for that amount of time, for just a long time. It could be, it could be years before I come home. And it's also actually leaving my cats behind. I know that sounds crazy, but my cat really loves me and she doesn't really get along with anyone else in the house, like because her ginger brother dominates everything. So I always like make sure I give her, like, she comes and sleeps on my chest at night and I give her some really good strokes at night. And if I wasn't here, there'd be no one to do that really, like, because everyone else just pretty much ignores her because she's a bit mental. So I know that sounds crazy, but I'm actually more upset about, like, because I can Skype my mum, I can Skype my sister, but you can't explain to your pets why you're going away. And I've had that cat since I was 10 years old, and when I was getting bullied at school and having a breakdown, I used to come home and like tell my cat about how my day had gone and everything, and she's just always been there. If you've got a close relationship with an animal, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then I'll just sound like a nutter. So I'm actually quite upset about leaving my cat in her old age, because she's like 80 in human years now, so she might not be here when I get back. That's harder than anything else actually, but it's going to be fucking incredible. I'm so excited. Now that I'm chock full of fucking rabies, I know that it's real. I still haven't booked a plane ticket because I still don't know whether or not I'm going to go straight to Thailand, start in Thailand, or whether or not to go to Australia for 6 months first, because you can get a working visa there if you're from the UK and you're between 18 and 30, and I'm 27, 28 this year, and you have to apply from your home country. So if I'm going to do it ever, I'm going to have to do it really now, like go straight there from here. And it would make sense as well, because then I could pack like officey clothes into a suitcase and check it, and then just like give them to a charity shop in Australia when I'm done with them. So it made more sense to go straight there from here. But really what I've been wanting to do is get onto a fucking beach for like the last, year that I've been picturing going travelling. It's been like, I can't wait to get to that beach. First thing I'm going to do is hit like a load of really nice Thai islands, and chill out because I've earned it. It's been a long old struggle saving money, and I still only have like a certain amount of money saved. Once I do my CELTA and I pay for these fucking £350 vaccinations, and that's with the NHS, it must cost you like $1,000 in America. I'm getting most of my vaccinations for free, and I only had to pay for like rabies and a couple of others. It must cost you a bomb in America when you're paying for all of them. £350 for vaccinations, visas, plane tickets and all of that malarkey. I'll probably have about £3,500 left, which is enough to travel in Southeast Asia for about 3 or 4 months comfortably. which sounds like a long time, but just when I was saving all of this money, I really pictured like, you know, getting a year of travel, you know, not having to work for a little while, not having to worry about getting a job for a good chunk of time, because I want to have a bit of mental freedom to sort of try and develop my writing a little bit, to learn a language, to learn to cook Thai food, you know, and sort of do all those sorts of things. I wanted to really sort of have a good think about what I wanted to do next before I'd start looking for a job. So I don't know whether or not to do that then, go straight to Australia and just whack out sort of 6 months or a year there and get some money saved, or whether or not I should just go travelling, then do the CELTA, then get an English teaching job. I know it's nice fucking first world dilemmas, isn't it? It's exactly like, you know, the end of the world either way. Which is wonderful to have so many options, but very difficult to settle on one of them. But yeah, I'm very excited. It's all happening. It's incredible, isn't it? Like, I love this. If you were watching my channel a very long time ago, 2010, probably, I went to live in America for 6 months, and one of the things that I realised when I was there, I was just looking around. I was in Portland, Oregon, and I was looking around, and I could just see all these sort of like iconic Portland buildings, and I just had this, you know, it was so American, everything, you know, the way everything's different, like the street signs and the, you know, the way that someone will strike up a conversation with you at the bus stop and stuff, whereas like, you know, to a Londoner, that's like, I just remember being like, I put myself here, like, I really learned a valuable lesson when I did that. It was like, you know, in my depression, I came up with a random idea, which is like, I'll go and live in America for 6 months, and about a year later, I was actually doing it. And what I learned from that experience was, you know, that these amazing experiences do come around, but you have to have the idea first, and then you have to work towards them. So that's sort of how I've got to this stage now, is, you know, all I have to do is decide that I'm going to go backpack around putting something through the door, backpack around, you know, Southeast Asia, you know, motorcycle around China, take a motorcycle around South America, hike the Pacific Crest Trail from Mexico to Canada, you know, whatever random dream that you come up with, you can make that happen for yourself, you know. I have a wonderful life where I don't have any dependents, and I don't even have a partner to worry about. I'm not even going with another person, so I don't need to worry about anyone else. It's like incredible when you really tap into how the potential of life and how many opportunities there are for grand adventures, and all it takes is for you to not just go, oh, that's really cool that woman did that, but for you to go, I'm going to do that, you know. It's very powerful, and I think it's been a really valuable life lesson for me, because, you know, when you're, God, will never a video go by where I don't mention depression, but, you know, if you're a bit prone to depression or whatever, you can get to thinking, you know, you get to waiting for good things to happen to you, but being very cynical that they're not going to happen to you because everything's really shit, and you've identified everything's really shit. But what you're missing is you need to identify the things that you wish were happening and then make those things happen. So it's, although, you know, still have my bad days, like, I'm definitely, it's like wonderful and empowering to think I have, hopefully, you know, 40 years of life expectancy in front of me, no plans, no children, no partner. I can do whatever the hell I want, and I'm getting on with it. It's a wonderful thing to feel like you're getting on with it. The worst feeling in the world, and I'd say this on a Monday morning where, you know, this time last week and for the last 5 or 10 years, I've been going in, sitting down in an office and feeling like, just feeling in my bones like, this isn't me. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. It's a horrible feeling like you're selling your life 8 hours at a time, and it's not where you're supposed to be, and you'll never get that time back. And so it's really where it really, you know, 9 to 5 office jobs really wear me down, like emotionally wear me down, because I get too deep on it and I think too much about it, and I think about selling my life away. So it's fucking wonderful to be unemployed, chock full of bloody rabies and Japanese encephalitis, getting ready to actually do something. Going in, I mean, it's so weird that other people actually think I'm going to do this. I mean, I am going to do it, but it hasn't quite sunk in yet. You know, whereas when I go to see the travel nurse and she's like, so when you go to China, and I'm like, fucking hell, she's talking about me. Like, that's me. I'm going to go to China. This is not like a documentary I'm watching on TV. These are not other more adventurous people, and I'm just sitting by and watching it happen. They're talking about me, you know, in the backpack shop, and the guy being like, you know, so if you do any sort of, you know, rugged terrain trekking, this will be an excellent feature. I'm like, I'm going to do bloody jungle trekking. Me. yeah, it feels very random. I'm very disappointed in myself. There's no point in, you know, crying over spilt milk, but I'm quite disappointed in myself that I've let it get to this age, 27, before I've, you know, got out into the world, you know, because I think I've always had an adventurous nature, but I think that somehow I just spent 5 years in a really bleak depression in my teenage years, and so I've done everything pretty much 5 years late, because those 5 years were basically like non-years. Nothing happened in those years, apart from I tried not to kill myself, and I spent some time in a mental unit. So, so everything's been late. I went to university and I was like that many years later than everyone else, and you know, getting my first proper well-paying jobs in my 20s. I was sort of in my late 20s by the time that started happening, whereas a lot of people pull that off at like 24. So yeah, most people go travelling, you know, 21 maybe, 22, and I'm 27, so I'm still catching up on the shit I missed, basically. This is going to be so good for me. This is going to force me to get social skills and feel independent and build self-confidence. There's no way I can't feel confident if I've taken myself halfway around the world and I've come out the other side. And I've been reading lots of sort of inspirational travel literature and things to get my head in the right sort of zone. So I'm very excited. I'm starting small, so I'm starting with backpacking through Southeast Asia. Lots of people have done it before me. It's not unusual. I think I'll probably work towards more grand sort of challenging adventures after that. But to me, this is a grand challenging adventure just to begin. And I'm very excited. So if you've done any travelling, please leave me a video response and tell me how it went. Give me some inspiration. Leave me a comment. Because I'm like totally travel obsessed. Cool, I won't go on for much longer. I just thought I'd give you an update. I'm unemployed now, yay, so I can make more YouTube videos. Got a free house every day. And I hope you're all well. Thanks for listening. Bye.